Yes, I see. Hello and welcome, everybody. So, yes, welcome. Thank you, Ruth Ellen. But you take information and you put it into world practice, folks. So many times people will go to college and get something that's so general that, yeah, it might help them in different areas of life, but what is it doing to help the world population? That's what Dr. Wallach has been doing for decades, including finding that there are over 600 diseases that are directly related to nutritional deficiencies. So think about it. You have a nutritional deficiency, you have this disease. Well, let's just fix the nutritional deficiency and see if the disease takes care of itself, because the body can do some amazing stuff. And more often than not, the body does take care of itself. And Dr. Wallach is here with us today to share more information on what we can do to live long, healthy lives, folks, not something that's being dragged on by different medical procedures and things that are just helping us to survive, not thrive. Dr. Wallach, welcome to Daily with Doc.
Well, thank you, Becca, and thank you, team. This is really, as usual, great to have the family back after the holidays and all that kind of stuff. And it was great to have a great interview with Theo Ratliff, a great basketball star. And so we're going to make that a tool that's available to people, right?
Yes, we will. So we're going to go in, we're going to do some editing and make it just perfect. So we cut out all the things that you don't need to hear because it's not beneficial to the message. And that's the thing about going live, Dr. Wallach. You're going to have people, it's going to take them a little while to get connected. You're going to have gaps and uhs and ums and all of these things that come with a live presentation. And we're going to take and make it beautiful and make it flow and have it as a tool that'll be available on the YouTube and Rumble and Facebook, Critical Health News, and also on dailywithdoc.com. So you'll be able to look for that interview with Dr. Wallach, where he's having a conversation with NBA star Theo Ratliff.
And this is really a great interview because at 21 years we worked together and we took him from a physical wreck. I mean, his career was over. Okay. And we rebuilt him with nutrition, no drugs. And then he took it to other people and took it around the world. And the story is just leaves you breathless. Now, when you appreciate that, when you look at my books, things like, let's see here, Hell's Kitchen. You look at this one here, another one of my favorite, Prepare. Okay, Prepare. There you go. And in Prepare, it tells you some facts. 95% of all Americans are nutritionally deficient. Okay, this is right out of JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association. 95% of all Americans are nutritionally deficient, primarily mineral deficiencies. So taking a lot of vitamin C when you have a mineral deficiency is not going to really help a lot. Okay, then they also came out and said 53% of medical doctors under oath on the stand admit that many of the treatments they give are primarily to earn income as opposed to cure the patient. 53%. Okay, this all and the not only are those statements in that book, okay, Prepare, but it gives you the reference. So you can go and look it up and read the whole article if you want. Holy moly. Now, what I want to do is use that to begin the story of human beings as we know them, okay? And you always hear about the biblical stories of people living a long time because they lived in the land flowing with milk and honey. I always wondered where the dairy cows came from 3,000 years ago. Did they have big barns and milking machines? No, 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 no. And so I'm thinking, I've been there. I've been to the Middle East. Oh, and some of these streams are white with minerals, grinding up limestone and clay and stuff like that. And so these minerals are suspended in the water, make it look like milk. So we're talking about the land flowing with milk and honey. It looks like milk, but it may be the milk of the earth, but it's not dairy milk. It's not cow's milk or llama milk or, wombat milk. It's earth milk, okay? So pay attention to that. So let's go back, to when they started keeping track of this kind of stuff. And let's go to Methuselah, one of my favorite people, Methuselah. I'd like to talk to people and say, let's do what Methuselah did. And Methuselah is famous for being one of the longest lived people on record, 969 years, 969 years. Okay, wow. I think it was his grandson, Jeremiah, lived to be 962 years. And then Noah lived to be 595 years. Moses only lived to be 120. Well, it's still pretty good in today's numbers, but 120 is not as good as 969. And then, now let's see here. In the Bible, in the Old Testament, God said, and man's year shall be 120. Well, Adam died at 930. Seth, his son, died at 912. Enosh, his son, died at 905. Okay. And it's one of those things what should I say? It just blows your mind how old these biblical characters lived to be. And this is not difficult to understand. If you're eating perfectly, just like when you hear the story of Theo Ratliff, with all the things he had going wrong with him. I mean, this guy's career was over when he was 24 years old. We rebuilt him. He played for 21 more years, okay, and did great things with much of his money for the community as well as his own family and so forth. But here's a guy who had lost everything just after a couple of years of playing pro ball. We rebuilt him just with nutrition, no drugs, no surgery, no devices. And he stuck with it. He stuck with it. Okay, most of them, once they feel better, they stop taking the vitamins and minerals, they fall down the hole again. Well, Theo did such a great job. And so that's why we have this tool coming out. Okay, the Theo Ratliff story. And of course, we do have all kinds of CDs and things that kind of touch onto that stuff. Okay, this is not difficult to understand. We do require, as vertebrates, we require nutrients. Nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. Plants do not make minerals. Plants make vitamins, amino acids, fatty acids. And we require 60 out of our 90 essential nutrients, 1/3 are minerals. So how did we get minerals for thousands and thousands of years? How did people live to be 969? How did they live to be 930 and all that kind of stuff? How did they do that? 962? Well, they did that, okay, by making sure that they were eating well. And how did they do that? They didn't have refrigerators. They didn't have all that kind of stuff. But what they did have was wood for fuel and coal for fuel. And wood ashes and coal ashes are 95% by weight minerals and 2 or 3% by weight carbon. And they would put these wood ashes and coal ashes into their gardens, and the onions and the beets and the peppers and tomatoes and so forth would suck up the minerals, and people would eat them, and they get their minerals that way. And of course, we didn't have enough money, and when we were on the farm, to buy expensive spices, so we put wood ashes from the wood stove into our food because it's kind of spicy. But we got the minerals that way. They're also putting it directly into our food, and we got it that way now, and people did pretty well. Well, once we went to electricity, there were no more wood ashes, no more coal ashes. And in fact, it even got worse because the bottomland, which is renewing itself every year by flooding, okay, we put up the the dams for hydroelectric and shut off this annual flooding thing. So there was no more silt to renew the fields every year on bottomland. And things really got bad for about 20 years. And then doctors came out with all these programs to help you be pain-free. But the disease kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse because they weren't dealing with the disease, they were dealing with the symptoms. Again, in this book, Prepare, goes into great detail, 53% on the stand of doctors, when asked the question, okay, about curing and doing procedures for finances, 53% said they choose procedures based on the finances. And 95% of all Americans are minerally deficient. So this is very scary stuff, okay? So I cannot thank Rebecca and her team enough for helping us get this information out there. We do have wellness publications. We do have www.drjwallach.com. You get a hold of my books and CDs and DVDs. And this, don't forget the salt. You want to be the salt of the earth, get our seasoned salt from Australia and New Zealand, get our Himalayan salt from the Himalayan mountains or the Hunzas. And they have, this is not just ground up salt, okay, from Ohio or anything like that. This is sea salt in both cases, where not only was there sodium chloride in the seasoned salt from Australia and New Zealand, and not only is it sodium chloride in the Himalayan salt, but this salt came from plants, okay, in the oceans thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. When the oceans disappeared, all that salt, got accumulated in the valleys, and this is where we have 8 sources of this Himalayan salt and seasoned salt, and we're getting all these minerals that way. And people were curing a couple of thousand years ago. They were curing goiter with sea salt. They didn't know what was in the sea salt that made the goiter go away, but they knew the goiter went away when people used sea salt, okay, because it had the minerals in there. And so this is why in the old days, when people did something really especially good for their family, for their community, they were known as the salt of the earth because they were beneficial. Okay. And so with that said, I'm going to turn this over to Rebecca and see where else she wants to go here.
Well, Dr. Wallach, there's a lot of people with hands up. So I think we need to go right into answering questions. The first one I'm going to answer, and this is going to be a first. I've learned that we are able to unmute people that are on the phone. So I'm going to unmute the person. Area code 918 has a question. So let's see if we can get them to unmute. Hello, can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, it worked, Dr. Wallach. So I understand you have a question for us.
Yes, Dr. Wallach, my husband is in a nursing home, and he had lost 50 pounds, and I was, of course, complaining. And so they put him on the Ensure product, and of course, I'm not into Ensure, and they refused to respect my wishes not to give him Ensure. Anyway, they've been giving it to him like 5 or 6 times a day, and he's regained 20 pounds. And of course, the first ingredient is water, and then 2 different forms of sugar, and then milk, and then canola oil. And anyway, I would like your perspective on how bad and why it's so bad. And then if you can give me any words of wisdom on how to get them to not give it to him. They're saying it's
does he weigh?
part. Huh?
How much does he weigh? Body weight?
He is 6'4", and he now weighs 200 pounds.
Okay. Does he have any other issues? Does he have diabetes? Does he have high blood pressure? Does he have arthritis?
He has arthritis. He has high blood pressure. He has dementia, and those are probably the main things.
Okay.
He's been diabetic off and on, but I don't know what they're doing right now. He hasn't been so bad. So anyway, all right, I'll shut up here.
Okay. So he needs to get rid of all the bad foods. so it maximizes absorption. Okay, and of course, this Ensure is not supposed to be his total food intake, 6 or 8 times a day. No, maybe 1 meal a day or a dessert or something like that. Okay, and so you may want to look around and find a different nursing home. Okay, you may want to look around and say, maybe I'm just going to bring him home and have somebody come to my house and help him. Okay, so you have other options. You don't have to stay in that nursing home. This is America. Okay, they're 200 pounds. Please get rid of all the bad foods. Get a hold of my book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. There's 300 pages of safe recipes, safe cooking methods. Okay, and then the 200 pounds, I want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. They contain 215 nutrients, including the 90 essential nutrients. Then I want him to have 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so I can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, mixed bone itself. I want him to have 2 of these canisters a month of the collagen peptides, so he can take a scoop of that with his morning drink and a scoop of that with his evening drink. That's going to help again rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, mixed bone itself. And then for the high blood pressure, I'm going to get 2 bottles a month. The Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets has 3 words: Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets. Take 3 twice a day, or even 3 times a day. He could, and they're going to support and promote healthy blood pressure. Don't let him cold turkey off of any blood pressure medication he's on, but as the blood pressure drops, you can slowly reduce the blood pressure medication. Then, because he has a history on and off of having diabetes, I do want him, he may be a pre-diabetic, I want him to have our Sweeties, get 2 bottles a month of that amount, so I can take 3 twice a day. That'll support healthy blood sugar. If he's on any blood sugar issues, blood medications, don't cold turkey off of them, instantly, and that kind of stuff. For pain on his joints, he can use a CM cream, and also we have our Hemp FX Soothe. Okay, I use both of those when I need it, out shoveling stuff out in the yard or lifting stuff, loading and unloading trucks and things, get a little shoulder thing here, an elbow thing there. And so I'll use the CM cream, which lasts for maybe 2 to 3 hours, topical pain reliefs. The Hemp FX Soothe lasts for, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. Okay. And so I might, if I strained a shoulder or something like that, I'll use a Soothe before I go to bed, so I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night and put something on. And so, but keep in touch with us, because all of his issues can go away, because none of these are genetic. None of these are autoimmune. They are simply nutritional deficiencies. And he's got to stay away from all the bad foods. That's why we want you to get that book. It's got the good food, bad food list in there, 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods, and the good food, bad food list. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, and oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. The gluten in oats is called gliadin, but there's still gluten. No buckwheat. There's no gluten in buckwheat, but they do have Fago, F-A-G-O pyrines, which are worse than gluten. No sugar, no carbonated drinks. That includes soft drinks, diet drinks, and also carbonated water, because carbonation neutralizes stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals or digest food. So do give us a call every couple of weeks, because you're going to have a great story. We see people with this little scenario over and over and over all over the world, because they are mineral deficiencies. And mineral deficiencies, since we went to electricity, have been the biggest, which they say, nemesis of humanity. Okay, so with that, back to you, Rebecca.
So Dr. Wallach, Ensure is like a meal replacement. Which meal replacement offered by Longevity would you recommend?
Which one would you choose?
Oh, I really like, my mom really likes the plant-based protein shake. It's vanilla. She can add fruit to it and make it whatever flavor she wants, but she just likes it as the vanilla also. I like the fact, Dr. Wallach, that one, it goes by the good foods, bad foods list. It's not adding in all these oils and sugars. It's natural from our Stay Natural line. And it's doing more than just adding calories. It's actually adding nutrition. It's not taking the place of the 90 essential nutrients, but it is adding additional
it's a plus.
nutrition.
Plus.
Yes, absolutely. So with what Dr. Wallach just recommended, I I would add to that the plant-based protein shake. We also have the total meal replacement shakes that can be used also for meal replacements, not in addition to a meal, but unless you need to gain weight, but meal replacements. So,
Okay, thank you very much.
all right. Well, thank you, Dr. Wallach. And I'm glad that Zoom has allowed that option to be able to unmute a caller. So thank you, Ruth Ellen, for letting me know that we had a caller that had a question because she called into our 800 line 855-949-3377. That is the Daily with Doc call-in line. And this is for getting onto the program, or for those who have never spoken to anybody about longevity before. And here, Dr. Wallach, there you go. You're not all by yourself anymore. I've got to get back into the routine of this, Dr. Wallach. Take a few days off, and I got to remember it's just like riding a bike, right? But anyways, folks, if you're on live with us and you would like to ask a question, if you go to the Zoom menu, click on reactions. Under reactions, there is the option to raise hand. So I want to make sure that we get to all the hands, Dr. Wallach. And we had a lady that was on over an hour early, and she has her hand up. So I would like to call on Lynn. Lynn, go ahead and unmute yourself. Are you there, Lynn? I see you're unmuted. Lynn? Oh, Lynn, go back out and come back in. Your audio did not connect. So we'll get back to you. We're going to move right over, but Lynn, go out, come back in, and usually that fixed the problem, okay? Thank you. Let's go over to the next hand that is up, Dr. Wallach, and that is Rosemary. Rosemary, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you. Dr. Wallach, I have a client who's on the 90. I've never been able to get her on anything else, but she does take the 90. And her doctor has told her that she can only take a multiple and calcium, and she cannot take any, she should not take any collagen because her thyroid has been removed. Is that true?
No, she needs to change doctors.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But if she's had her thyroid removed, we have what's called Ocean's Gold and Fucoid Z, two different oceans. Each one has, I don't know, 8 or 9 different seaweeds in them. And then we also have a liquid form of the Fucoid Z called Z Radical. I know that's Rebecca's favorite. Looks and tastes like red wine, but there's no alcohol in it. Okay. It's really great stuff. We have, a couple ounces for breakfast, a couple ounces for dinner. Okay, that's going to help with more nutrients. Okay, does she have any particular health issues?
She's had both of her breasts removed 2 different times, but at different times, excuse me.
I was going to say 2 different times. How do you grow breasts?
One breast at a time.
Okay.
One breast maybe 20 years ago, and the other one more like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, the thyroid is about all that she has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have her take that Z Radical and also the Fucoid Z and the Ocean's Gold along with. How much does she weigh? Is she a big girl or small? Or
she's about 5'9", 130 pounds. 130
pounds?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's right at that cusp. I'm assuming she had her breast removed because she had cancer.
Yes.
Okay. And I would give her 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, full dose of everything twice a day. That's 215 nutrients, including the 90. I would also have her take the MSM. She can take 3 of those at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That'd be 2 bottles a month. That's going to support her immune system, including rebuilding cartilage and ligaments and tendons, skin, all that kind of stuff. But also supports rebuilding the bone marrow, which is where your immune system is, your white blood cells and that kind of stuff. Okay. And then let's see here. I would also, let's see here. That's kind of where I would go. That's where I would go for her. It wouldn't hurt for her to go ahead and also take our rebound or sports drink. She could go ahead and take that. We have the sticks, we have the canisters, we have the cans. The sticks and the canisters do not have carbonation. The cans do have carbonation. You got to pop the tops on them, put them in the refrigerator at night, drink them the next day.
And-
But our rebound per serving has 100 nutrients in it, 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. So it's a great, energy drink. It's a great supplement. Okay. And so.
And the
that's-
collagen is okay.
And yeah, collagen is absolutely okay. It's kind of like saying you can't use oxygen. The iron in your body might rust. I mean, how
Okay, thank
dumb is
you.
that? Okay. So when a doctor says stuff like that, it's time to start investigating the options. You can look for another doctor.
Right. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Keep us informed how this gal does.
Okay.
Thank you, Rosemary. Now, Dr. Wallach, out in YouTube land, Blossom has a question. And we need somebody to mute. Okay, let's try that now. So she has a 16-month-old that's about 20 pounds and is having a tough time keeping him hydrated. He's constipated and noticed that his waist is very dry. Would you recommend BTT is her question. And my question for extra hydration, would you recommend adding the strawberry kiwi mints to water so that he's getting minerals throughout the day in water that tastes good?
Okay, now is this a human being?
Yeah, 16-month-old little boy,
Okay.
20 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, I would add the kids toddy for 1 serving a day. Okay. And then of course, there's all kinds of liquid stuff we have, but the kids toddy and the EFAs and the FA pluses, it's a little too soon for the rebound, but what would you think? What would you think in addition to the kids toddy?
Well, something that really helps with constipation, Dr. Wallach, is the cow toddy. And I know that the kids toddy has some calcium and magnesium in there. So if he's not on that, that might do the trick. But if that doesn't do the trick, adding even just a half or a quarter of a teaspoon at 20 pounds may do the trick to help get him moving so he's not constipated. But again, that strawberry kiwi mints added to water tastes really good. And it's like electrolyte drink for babies. So instead of doing that drink that starts with a P for kids to get them hydrated, adding the strawberry kiwi mints or the cherry mints to water is a much better idea, Dr. Wallach.
Okay, very good.
All right, and then we have a email coming in from Jamie. Jamie wants to know what causes the human body to feel like it's vibrating, numb, tingling, off balance, and wobbly at times. Stiffness and achy joints, possible. She says, is it possible somebody has too many positive ions and needs negative ions? How can the body stay balanced with the right amount of ions? Well, Dr. Wallach, it's nutrition that we're missing that's causing all of these things, right? And
Yeah,
you're
and so-
holding up the book, It's All in Your Head, which I have a copy of right here.
There you
And
go.
I'll go ahead and turn it to your favorite page for you.
Okay, page 6, Roman numeral, front end.
So front end before the numbers start.
Yeah, there you go. Top skull is normal, 1/4 inch thick. Bottom skull has osteoporosis. It's 1.5 to 2 inches thick. It squeezes the 12 pairs of cranial nerves and the spinal cord, giving you 37 different diseases, okay, and symptoms. And doctors know nothing about this. I've had patients try and tell their doctor about it, and the doctor just gets up and walks out of the room because they don't get training on osteoporosis of the skull, okay? And so, again, this is a case where they need per 100 pounds of body weight, 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. If they only weigh 110 pounds, it'd be a half a dose of everything twice a day. If they weigh 150 or more, it's 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose of everything twice a day. They need the MSM. If they only weigh 110 pounds, it'd be 1 bottle a month. So they can take 3 twice a day. If they weigh 100 3,500, 40, 150 pounds or more, get 2 bottles a month of the MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. That's going to rebuild cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and disc between the vertebrae and bone matrix and all that kind of stuff, including the skull. Okay, all this vibrating, tinnitus, ringing in the ears, and balance problems, and squeezing of the auditory branch of the eighth cranial nerve and the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve. Also, they can get an irregular heartbeat called atrial fibrillation. They can get a fast heart rate, which is called tachycardia, a slow heart rate, which is called bradycardia, all squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve. Also, in the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve gets squeezed, you get extreme stomach pain. Okay. Let's see here. It's called, what is it?
Gastroparesis.
Yeah, there you go. Gastroparesis. Thank you. Gastroparesis. Okay. And all of these are totally preventable and reversible by taking the nutrients. And the formula, okay, the big one, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, is in the book and the CD set that we made, you and Dr. Milan and me. Okay. And it's all in your head. That's a great, great book. It sells like crazy because it covers things that doctors know nothing about. Doctors know nothing about osteoporosis of the skull. 130.
And yeah, it's only like 30 pages. So it's not like a big textbook, but folks, the stuff that is in here is kind of like the cliff notes of what a textbook would be. That gives you just the important stuff, the stuff that you need to know, the stuff that you need to remember. And it's written so that it can be understood and retained. And the importance of, think about it. The skull is bone. How can you not have arthritis affecting the skull if you've got arthritis in every single joint of the body?
Well, here's why. Because doctors, if you have stuff going on in your knees, they can do a double knee replacement. You have stuff going on in your hips, they do a double hip replacement. Well, if you have osteoporosis of the skull, do you do a double head replacement?
I do know people that have had parts of their skull removed and then put a metal plate in because it's not right. And we don't have to do that.
Well, just remember that, let's see here. The note says, okay, and this is in JAMA, Journal of American Medical Association, 50 on the stand, under oath, 53% of medical doctors in America recommend treatments that are more valuable from an income standpoint than a treatment standpoint.
All right, folks, you heard it and it's reported. Let's go ahead and help people and empower them to make decisions that can allow them to avoid those expensive surgeries and procedures and keep the pocket,
also
keep
dangerous.
the money in their own pocket. Absolutely. Absolutely. They can just lead to more and more treatments that are needed to maintain or regain any type of regular function. Dr. Wallach, let's go to Renee, who has her hand up. Renee. Uh-oh, where'd you go? Go ahead and unmute yourself, Renee.
Howdy.
Hi.
Hello.
I have been taking the supplements for a while, and I just had a blood test from my doctor, and he has raised my thyroid medicine because I keep gaining weight, and I hardly eat any food. I have Guillain-Barré and Epstein-Barr, and your supplements have really helped with my stomach issues of not being able, every morning I would get up and get sick and never be hungry, and it has helped. But I'm stuck where now my legs are really swelling.
Okay,
And so I was
how much you weigh?
300.
Okay, and how old are you?
58.
Did you say 68?
58.
58, okay, and how tall are you?
5'6".
5'6", okay. At 5'6", I'd like to see you weigh 120, 140. So you might be 150 pounds overweight. And this is because you're minerally deficient. I want you to get a hold of the book, Rare Earths Have Been Cures, Rare Earths Have Been Cures, www.drjwallach.com, www.drjwallach.com. Get a hold of my book, Rare Earths Have Been Cures. Go to chapters 10, 11, page 272. And Rebecca's holding up the book. It'll tell you how to collect the hair, where to ship it. Don't forget to put a check in there. You don't need a doctor's prescription permission to get a hair analysis. We will walk you through this. And it'll tell you exactly what you need. Okay. And it also will tell you if you have any toxic metals. There's, I think, 5 charts in there. One chart is the nutritional minerals. One chart is the toxic minerals. The other 3 charts are ratio things. But at any rate, you need to find out exactly what's going on here, so we're not guessing, because there's 60 essential minerals. You know, which ones are you missing causing all these problems? And so this hair analysis will tell you specifically. Again, you don't need a prescription. You don't need your doctor to approve it. He won't understand it. So when you get the results, contact us. We'll walk you through this. We charge you nothing. We don't charge any fees or anything for interpreting it for you. Okay.
Well, and another problem is I have really low cholesterol.
Okay.
And,
are you eating eggs for breakfast?
Well, I'm trying. I'm not eating as many as you say I should.
Okay. Are you taking your I-26?
Never heard of that.
Okay. I-26. I like the chewables. They come in tablets, they come in powder and chewables. I like the chewables. The little kids like them because they taste like vanilla ice cream, and they're not crunchy things. They're just, you bite one and they just turn into powder. Okay. It's kind of nice and tastes like vanilla ice cream. So I take 2 of those at lunchtime because I have 3 eggs for breakfast and 3 eggs for dinner. Somehow there's some kind of interference between one another. And I want you to get our keto shake. Okay, I want to get you to get our keto shake and take 1 keto shake meal a day. It's a meal replacer. It's not to add to a meal. It's a meal replacer. We have it in chocolate and strawberry. And so I want you to get half the month is going to be strawberry, half the month is going to be chocolate, and kind of mix it up. Okay, today you're going to have strawberry. 2 days in a row, you might have chocolate. Then 3 days in a row, you might have strawberry. Then you go back to chocolate and so forth. So you're mixing it up, right? And let's see here. I'm going to put Rebecca on the spot here. How much weight did you lose going through that process and using the keto shake, Becca?
Well, altogether, Dr. Wallach, I've lost just over 100 pounds. Probably about 60 of that was doing the keto program. And I personally like half strawberry, half chocolate.
You mix them at the same time?
Mix them at the same time. So half a scoop of strawberry, half a scoop of chocolate. But I also follow a ketogenic diet, which is low carbohydrates and high in good fats and moderate in moderate protein.
Yeah.
So,
fat doesn't make you fat. Fat does not make you fat.
That's right.
It's mineral deficiencies. Mineral deficiencies make you fat because it drives you to a behavior called pica, which causes you to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, looking for those minerals. But once you start taking the minerals, that pica goes away, and you'll lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. Okay, without even trying.
So basically, your fats are just butter. Is that what you're telling me?
That's right. Butter is your main fat, and animal fat, chicken fat, steak fat, hamburger.
Yeah, don't make lean choices.
You know, I've always peeled off the skin. And the gentleman that was helping me with ordering stuff said, no, that's your best part to keep is the skin and that. And I just have a hard time eating it because I just have all these years not eaten it. But
well, let's think about the skin. Okay, like cures like when we're in an herbal world. So with the skin being fat and collagen, what is your skin? Fat and collagen. So it feeds the body and just gives it more of what it needs in order to maintain what it has or regain what it has. So think of it that.
I love the keto bar. I know I'm sad that you guys got rid of that, but
We have a keto shake.
With the keto shake, I ordered that, and because of my Guillain-Barré, I don't know why it's I don't know if there's a connection or what, but after I drink the shake, it's like my legs turn to cement.
Okay,
I
you
can
have to
barely
appreciate
walk.
that Guillain-Barré is the same thing as MS in the brain. Okay, it's just MS in the spinal cord. And if you can't eat 3 eggs twice a day, then eat 1 egg twice a day. If you start there, soft scrambled in butter, okay? But then get that I-26 and take 2 of those at lunchtime, the chewables. It tastes like vanilla ice cream. And then 1 keto shake meal. Let's see, did you have just 1 keto shake meal per day, Becca?
Well, with my program, I did fasting where in the beginning I had 4 keto shakes, no food, but 4 keto shakes plus my supplementation. I had 1 week that I lost 8 pounds in that week. We have people that, Dr. Wallach, they're losing 18 pounds in that first week. And then they start doing 2 shakes and meal replacement shakes, and then go down to 1 meal replacement shake. But they're still following that 75-25% ratios. So 75% fats, 25%, and this is of calories, 25% of protein, and then 5% of carbohydrates, or is it grams? But so Renee, with having the Guillain-Barré, what Dr. Wallach is recommending is you need that cholesterol. Your low cholesterol is because you're having these issues. With the I-26, it also comes in a powder that you can add to your shake, your keto shake. You can add it to your Beyond Tangy Tangerine and make sure that you're getting those additional dosages of the I-26 hyperimmune that's going to give you that good cholesterol that your body's starving for. So if you don't want to do the chewables, there's the powder.
Yeah, 1 dose of the I-26 gives you 25% of your daily requirement of cholesterol.
Mhm.
Oh, that'll be good.
It says it right on the label.
So,
That freaks everybody
okay.
out.
I'll have to look at that. And also, what makes you want to itch your skin off all the time?
Well, here's again where you want that MSM and the collagen peptides. Your skin is the biggest reservoir of collagen and connective tissue in your body. 2/3 of the skin is connective tissue, just like your tendons and ligaments and cartilage and stuff like that is your skin. Okay. And that's why all the old wildlife hunters and stuff like that, and would eat the skin of the animals. That way they didn't know why, but it made them, they didn't have arthritis and stuff because that's where they're getting the raw material. They're getting the collagen to rebuild their cholesterol, not cholesterol, all of their things that made out of collagen. Okay, like tendons and ligaments and
The skin, the hair,
the skin, hair,
all the connective tissue.
heart valves, bone matrix, even bones. The matrix where the minerals sit on is made out of collagen.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Renee.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. So, Dr. Wallach, we have a question, or we're going to go back to Lynn, actually. Lynn, go ahead and unmute. And I actually have her question if we aren't able to hear her this time. I am not hearing her, but her question is, Dr. Wallach, she's been diagnosed with medium level dry macular degeneration. She's been told that the damage to the macula cannot be healed. She wants to know, can the damage of the macula be healed? She is very anxious to heal it rather than just try to slow or stop the decline, as the doctors tell me is the best I can hope for. I can still see well with some issues. So, Lynn, say something. Can I hear you? Oh no, I still cannot hear her, Dr. Wallach.
Okay.
So
she obviously can hear us. So that's the main thing. Okay, so
yes.
here we go. So you have to appreciate the macula is in the lining, the retina of the eye, right around where the optic nerve goes into the back of the eye. Okay, so when you have macular degeneration, you have osteoporosis of the skull, squeezing the optic nerve and the optic artery and the optic vein, shutting off the food supply to that macula. Okay, and it's slowly dying because the skull is slowly squeezing the optic nerve and the optic artery and the optic vein. Okay, now, do you have any ringing in your ears? Do you have any tinnitus or ringing in your ears? Okay, do you have any balance problems, any dizziness or balance problems? Okay, yeah, the skull is squeezing the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve, causing that dizziness and balance problems. And then also, let's see here. What's another one? Oh, how many times a night do you wake up to urinate? Do you wake up once, 3 times, once, 3 times, 5 times? Once to twice a night? Yeah. Yeah, you have osteoporosis of the skull. That's what's causing the macular degeneration. The skull is squeezing the optic nerve, and you need to get a hold of the book and the CD set. It's on your head, and you can go to the pages that are about optic nerve, which is optic nerve number 2. Okay, cranial nerve number 2, the optic nerve. Okay, and it'll tell you the story. And again, it's a set, it's a CD and the book. This is osteoporosis of the skull. This is a normal skull, 1/4 inch thick, 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick. You can see her be squeezing the spinal cord. The spinal cord is telling the urinary bladder to urinate. That's why you're urinating once or twice a night. I know it's not a prostate problem because girls don't have prostates. Okay, I don't even have to do an exam on you. You're a girl, no prostate. That's easy. Okay. And I don't know why doctors just don't get that. They need to go back to anatomy class. Okay. Okay. So yeah,
All right.
the macular degeneration is will respond to this approach, and the vision will come back. Also, you want to throw in our occutive. Oh my gosh, I was getting macular degeneration in my left eye, my right eye. My right eye. I mean, I have to get new glasses because I really don't need glasses anymore. Okay, so when you see me next time, it'll either be different glasses or no glasses, because the occutive I take 3 twice a day along with all my other supplements, and I could tell within a week suddenly now that macula was healing, because suddenly now all the stuff that had gone away had come back. It was the good stuff all came back. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for bearing with us. Glad we could get that question asked for you. We have time for one more, Dr. Wallach. Let's go to Cameron. Cameron, go ahead and unmute yourself.
All right, Dr. Wallach, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, we can.
All right. Okay, so I am 29 years old. I'm in great health. I weigh about 173 pounds. And I have heard about I've read most of your books. I've put my family on your regimen and had great success. So I have started doing the same exact thing for myself. And I've cut out all the oils, and originally weighed 185 and had lost 12, 13 pounds. And there's only one negative symptom that I'm having since I've started all of this regimen, and I'm losing weight. I feel good working out, but there's like a heaviness on my chest, like a tightness in my chest. And it's not there all the time. It's there sometimes. And I'm eating about a stick of butter.
Okay, we only have a moment left, so I need to answer this question quickly here. Basically, you say you weigh 173 pounds. Okay, 173 pounds. I want you to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, full dose thing twice a day. I also want you to take 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. I want you to take our collagen peptides, a scoop of that with your morning drink, scoop with your evening drink. I want you to have 2 doses of our rebound a day, 1 at breakfast, 1 at lunch. And 1 at lunch I kind of take with lunch, and then I have it as a snack, sort of mid-afternoon. I don't take it at night because you'll be up all night, unless you're gonna be driving all night or partying all night, then it's okay. We do have the powder. There's 30 of these sticks in a box. Okay, there's 100 nutrients in here, 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. And there's 36 servings in the canister. We do have the cans, which I drink at night. Well, I don't drink them at night. I pop the tops on them. Okay, and
Right.
put there's Theo, I pop the tops, put 2 of them in the refrigerator at night. So I drink one with breakfast and then one with lunch and into the afternoon. Okay. And then I take the sticks with me when I go out to eat at night, when I go visit other people, so I don't take the cans with me and spill all over the car. So I just take these with me, and you can just tear the top off, put them in a bottle of water, and you get your 100 nutrients. Okay, that way, and the energy will be there, and it'll help give you more. And I do this along. I only weigh 142 pounds, and I take 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs plus all these other nutrients. I probably take 40 other different nutrients, but I also take the Rebound, and it's one of those things where it's amazing. It's amazing, you know, what your body can do when it gets to nutrition. Okay, so give us a call every couple of weeks, because you're going to have a great story.
Appreciate that. Last little bit thing, because I know you got to get going, but I've never had this symptom before, and it wasn't until I started eating all this butter. Would that be the reason why I'm having the chest pain? Not chest pain, but heaviness?
No, if you're having tightness in the chest, kind of, oh, thank you for that. I want you to have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I got disrupted there. Okay, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day. They're designed to support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries, through and also support healthy blood pressure. Do you have a normal blood pressure?
Yes. Well, I did until recently. I don't know what it is now.
Okay, we'll check it out. But at any rate, the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, take 3 twice a day. That's what I do. As some of the other tablets I take in addition to the Healthy Brain and Heart pack and the Rebound and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, people say, well, Wallach, you know, you only weigh 142 pounds. Why are you taking so much stuff? Well, in 200 years, let's see which one of us is still here.
You're right. No, I totally understand.
Okay.
Totally understand. And, you know, I will say this. I mean, you're going on 84 years old, and I know plenty of 65-year-olds that, you know, don't have the cognitive function that you have. You're really quick. So
Yeah, and they wouldn't be able to stand up in a fist fight with me either. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I believe it. I read your book. I know that you'll go toe to toe with somebody.
Yeah, I you know, wrestled, I played football, weightlifted, ran track, boxed. And so I was in the military for over 20 years, retired as a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. So, you know, I know how to handle myself. And so there's a couple of guys, they tried to take my bag of goodies in the mall. There were 3 guys, and one of them, I got him on the floor and just beat the snot out of him. The other 2 ran away screaming. I still had my stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe you. I think I remember that in your book, but that's amazing. Real quick, I know we got seconds. So is it the ginkgo leaf and the hawthorn berry that helps out with the heart? Because I know that the cardio FX have that as well. Okay,
no, it's this whole thing. Don't try and pick out a nutrient or herb or something like that so you can go get that one nutrient or that one herb. Don't go there. That's not the way it works.
Right.
Okay. If you're going to have a wonderful tasting cake, are you only going to take the blueberries in the cake, or are you going to take the whole recipe?
The whole recipe.
The whole recipe. Okay, you got it. All right. Same way here. Do not, I used to tell people what the nutrient was, and then I'd call and I'd say, Julie, whatever happened to you and Frank? I haven't heard you and Frank for a couple of months. Well, Frank died 3 months after you told him to take that one nutrient. He took that one nutrient for 3 months and then he died. Did he take the others? No, he just took that one nutrient. And so I stopped telling people what the one nutrient is.
Right.
Dr. Wallach, they're going to fire me because you're going to be late for your next appointment.
I know, I got to run.
Thanks, Dr. Wallach. I appreciate it.
I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much, Cameron. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. And folks, I know that many of you have their hands up. There's questions that are in the chat that I apologize we did not get to today. Some people have emailed in their questions. We are going through and answering those questions and in the order that they are being received. And yes, if I can get my wonderful co-hosts on with me, because they are helping me go through all of these questions. You know, it has been overwhelming, the response that we have received. with people empowering themselves or having the desire to empower themselves to take their health into their own hands and get natural options that are going to feed the body instead of chemically destroy the body. And that's what we do as holistic health coaches. We help coach you in a way that helps meet those needs that are shown because of all of the symptoms of deficiency. So get back with the person that shared this program with you. Tell them what's going on. Ask them, and if they're a certified holistic health coach, they should have a health evaluation system that goes through and asks many of the questions, more than what Dr. Wallach has the time to answer here. This evaluation asks the questions that Dr. Wallach has asked in the past when he was doing his clinics on symptoms that you're having. Each of those symptoms, and some of them may sound kind of silly to ask, but each of those symptoms are directly connected through 3 different pathologies or postdoctorates in pathology, and then clinical implementation, and finding those deficiencies, linking them with the symptoms, correcting the deficiency, and somehow those symptoms just kind of melt away. That did for me. I know it did for many of my co-hosts as well, or people within their family. And we are just so honored to be able to present to you daily with Doc, Monday through Friday, except for when I need a vacation. And before I forget, the content of this program is to provide nutritional education only. It is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. And this is to show you as an empowered individual, whether the FDA wants you to know it or not, you have options available. So again, get back with the person that shared this program with you. If we did not get to your question, feel free to go to dailywithdoc.com, use that contact us, send us an email, and we will get back to you with a response based on the research and findings of Dr. Joel Wallach. So until next time, I want to give a special shout out to Ruth Ellen Sanchez. I mean, she keeps me on track, and she makes all of the stuff in the background go. Like, for those of you who are on YouTube, and if you got questions on YouTube, she makes sure that I get the questions and we get to those as we can. And Rumble and Facebook. I mean, it takes a whole group of people to make this happen. And folks, if you have ever thought of becoming a certified holistic health coach and having that additional income stream through coaching and also through providing options and solutions that the longevity options have provided for myself and each of us, get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there is nobody to thank, please go to dailywithdoc.com and use that contact us and say, I want to coach. And we will get you connected with our coaching program. We'll get you hooked up with one of our coaches as a mentor, and we will together help heal communities and the world. Sherry Browning, thank you so much for helping everybody get into the meeting. Marilyn, thank you for all of your wonderful notes that you put in the chat. And next time, tomorrow, if it's a weekday and you're out on YouTube or Rumble or Facebook and you want to join us here in the live meeting, go to dailywithdoczoom.com. All together, dailywithdoczoom.com. And my name is Becca Dukes. And as your host of this program, I invite you to come back and check out the replays also on each of those platforms. And I'm going to stop now because I could talk forever. Bye for now.